Welcome back to Morning Live. Now, to eliminate the negative stigma attached with one's physical appearance, Full Cream Figure is a movement to fight societal disapproval based on people's weight. This hopes to teach people to accept and embrace their bodies. The drive has included a magazine to celebrate and create a safe environment where overweight people can unpack and share their insecurities and pain. For more on the movement, we're now joined by Livhuwani Nefolovhodwe, the founder of Full Cream Figure. Welcome to the show, Livu.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Take us through the reasoning behind creating this. I know I read a little bit about it, but for your own personal perspective, why did you choose to create such a movement?
So I'm a marketer at heart, and I'm really passionate about digital disruption, and I really believe that positive movements can make companies better profits. So when I started Full Cream Figure, it was a challenge to myself and to society to say, if I started a page and I just had positive content of fat women who love themselves, who don't let societal stereotypes limit them, you know, what will happen? And if you look on our page, the results are mind-blowing. Within the space of a year, we've grown from 0 to almost 20,000 followers without any advertising at all, no celebrities, nothing. It's just been people coming together because we all have one shared vision, which is living in a world that doesn't discriminate against anybody. So that's why I started it.
I think you just mentioned something really interesting, and you said, you know, on your page specifically, you celebrate and you've referred to overweight women as fat women.
Yes.
Do you think, you know, the intention is to have women who are considered overweight or plus size to just start embracing the word for themselves so that everybody else can start looking at them differently?
Yes, we want to empower women to embrace the word fat because we believe that the word fat is not a bad word. If we had to believe that the word fat was a bad word, it would mean that I have to believe that I'm a bad person because I'm fat. And I'm not a bad person, therefore being fat shouldn't be a bad word. And if women can empower themselves and take ownership of that word, then the rest of society has no choice but to do the same.
I think before we look at the magazine, weight issues are very relative.
Yes.
And there's also the sentiment about health.
Yeah.
We're saying that, you know, fat doesn't necessarily mean bad.
Yes.
Fat isn't a negative thing. How do we balance the scales between, you know, being body confident but also being healthy at the same time?
So that's actually quite a contentious issue within the fat positivity space. And we always choose not to engage in the health conversation because we feel like if we engage in the health conversation, we have to validate our existence. So how do you tell me if I'm healthy or not? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So we can't engage in the health conversation because everyone's health matters, no matter what your size is. And a lot of studies have shown that fat women don't get adequate health care and don't get treated properly by doctors. So they don't get prescribed the right things to cure them of other things that they might be going through. Fat women have cancer, all these kinds of diseases, and a lot of the time doctors will say to them, you just have to exercise and you'll be fine. They don't actually examine the patient. So we feel like we're not about having the weight conversation, whether weight is healthy. We're just about everyone should have human dignity, and that should allow all of us to pursue a healthier lifestyle.
Now, Livu, the movement also includes a magazine.
Yes.
Take us through, you know, what the magazine is about.
Yes.
And where it's distributed for somebody who's never read it before.
So our magazine is an online magazine. You can find it at www.fullcreamfigure.com. And we've just made it a community where fat women can find the latest fat fashion, where they can buy clothes. We talk about relationship issues, dating issues that fat women face. It's really exciting, and I'm really proud of it because when we started it, we didn't think that anybody would go on and read, but we've had almost 2,000 subscribers now within the space of a year. So for me, that's quite an achievement, and I can't wait for it to grow bigger.
Now, another question would be, there are men as well who face issues with regards to weight and body confidence. Have you thought of looking at maybe a version for them as well, or including them in these movements?
Definitely. Actually, 6 months into the project, we got men emailing us and DMing us and saying, but what about us? What about fat men? And I was like, but I'm not a man. I can't create this content. So I partnered with a few men, full cream figure men, and we started a page called FCF Man. So that's where we have fat fashion for men, the issues that they face, and it's growing. It's doing very well.
Livhuwani, this is such an impressive movement. I'm definitely going to follow it because I'm also learning a lot about it. So thank you very much for looking into, body confidence issues. I think that's something that we really need to talk about. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That was Livhuwani Nefolovhodwe, and she's the founder of Full Cream Figure, positive movement and magazine that celebrates fat bodies, plus encourages society to confront the internal prejudice that it has towards marginal